and issue bonds backed by the payments for those receivables. In a sense, they're selling the general public the credit card balance. And the reason they do this, the rate charged by the banks is typically a lot higher than the implied rate on these securities backed by credit card receivable. Your bank may charge you 11.99, but when they actually create the security, it would be extremely rare, depending on the quality of the pool. If you're getting 11.99, you are probably at the relatively high credit score range. More than likely, they're not going to pay more than 6 or 7% to the general public. So, it's kind of a good deal. They pay 7% to the general public, but their customers pay 12%. And they have also transferred the default risk. So any of their clients in this pool that doesn't pay their credit cards, then, the investors in the pool are not getting their money. All the bank has done is basically pull these together and allow people to invest into relatively high risk credit card debt. Many firms create short-term financing by securitizing their accounts receivable. Again, firms extend trade credit. This is typically 30 to 90 days for their clients, but they need to finance that. Instead of borrowing from banks, they issue what we call commercial papers, which is a fancy name for very short-term corporate borrowing, corporate bonds, backed by the receivables. Again, these receivables are placed off the balance sheet. And buyers of the commercial papers assume default risk. This type of borrowing tends to be relatively cheap for corporations. Just a second. Let me admit one more. Now, these are, simple pass-through security, but especially for uh, mortgage pools, you can create rather interesting type of cash pools. Simplest ones, take any given mortgage pool and create two bonds or issue two bonds. The first one is going to be called principal only. This is sometimes affectionately known as PO securities, where whenever any mortgage payment is made, some of it is the interest accrued that month, and the rest goes towards the principal. We're going to kind of do an amortization table, and you're going to see what happens to those payments. The second payment, the second security is called interest only, or IO. So in a sense, we have two pools. The first pool, we switch, we send only the principal payments. The second pool, only the interest payments. Let's kind of see on a standard mortgage how these would behave. Let's do loan amount. $1 million. Come on. Rate, let's say 6.5%, which is a good rate these days. Let's do 30 years. And let's calculate the payment. Come on. Let's actually calculate period rate. Obviously, divide that by 12. Number of months, length times 12. Let's calculate the monthly payment. I mean, there are other ways we can do it, but Excel has a function called PMT. The first argument is the period rate. Second argument is number of what you want to call payments. The last argument is the loan amount. To get it positive, we're gonna put it as negative. So if you borrow $1 million, come on. Since I'm also recording and zooming, this thing is a bit slow. Come on. Okay.